it's a Calvin Klein fragrance, but for $500, $250, £300, I forbid you to buy it. I forbid you to buy at that evaluation. I don't even care if you're a multi-millionaire. Spend it on something better. That wasn't supposed to be there yet, but you know, if you've been watching me for the past year, you knew that was coming. Don't buy Creed Viking Cologne. Don't do it. This isn't really a review, or I don't even know what this is, to be honest. Got a little 2ml sample of Creed Viking Cologne. Sort of evaporated. I used quite a bit of it up, and sucks. It really sucks. It's a bit of a joke, really. It's sort of a joke release, I like Creed Viking, the original one. I think I said it was kind of like an old 90s fragrance release, put into a modern bottle. And to me that was sort of a pass, but an acceptable pass. But Creed Viking Cologne, you put it on for a minute and it just disappears. And you could make the argument essentially, well, isn't Milice Imperiale like the same? Isn't that the same? It lasts for minutes and then it's gone. And the answer is yes. It's always been that way, but that first 40 minutes for me is one of the best experience of fragrance, or at least it was. You see, the fun thing, the cool thing about what Creed did was their stuff was so high quality, and the unique way that they created their fragrances, essentially handmade, made it so that when you owned a Creed, the price point was that it was so well manufactured. I mean, you smell Milice Imperiale from even the early 2000s, or Silver Mountain Water, or Arolfa, and they're completely different fragrances. They're giants. They're amazing. They're truly beautiful creations, and Creed got all the hype and more for their such beautifully crafted scents, clearly inspired by nature. And Olivier Creed was very, very talented, very, very talented human being. One of the most talented, decorated perfumiers to have ever lived. There's controversy about whether he made Green Irish Tweed or not, which, even if he didn't, he was the person who led that project. He was the person who led all of them. Milice Imperiale, you smell that now, and I've recommended it. I've said from the beginning that it's my favourite fragrance. And there's a podcast that I'm going to be on soon. I think it's the Cologne podcast, and they reviewed Milice Imperiale, and they were like, it's not really that good, and the fragrance apprentice says that it was the best fragrance in the world, and just because the fragrance apprentice says so, don't feel entitled to buy it. And you know what? That's fair enough. Don't feel entitled to buy Milice Imperiale because it was my favorite fragrance of all time. Because the Milice Imperiale that you smell now is not the Milice Imperiale that it once was. Milestone by our math is closer to Milice Imperiale. It pains me to say that. It pains me to say that. It hurts so much. It hurts so much that fragrances get reformulated, and it's art that you want, and it's art that you care about. One of my favourite television series of all time is Star Trek Voyager. Right, huge Star Trek fan, but Voyager was the one that I grew up with. That was the one, Captain Janeway, 7 of 9, B'Elanna Torres, Chakotay, whatever. These reformulations and the way that it works out, it's like, because obviously you can watch Voyager on Netflix, or you can buy DVD. I've got old VHS tapes of Voyager, you know, like obscure science fiction from the 90s and Babylon 5 and all that. So it's there, and it will never change. I can watch every episode of Star Trek Voyager, and it will never change. These weird reformulations, one of the only art forms where it's like me rewatching an episode of Voyager, and the actors suddenly aren't as good, the production values aren't there, it isn't as I remembered it, the writing isn't as strong, the effects aren't as good, it's just tampered with. And that is one of the real problems with loving this as a hobby. It's one of the most painful things, you know, reformulation. But with Creed, I don't know what the hell happened. And Viking Cologne, I mean, you wouldn't have even had a Cologne. Like, the fact that Creed even have Cologne flankers is kind of sacrilege to what Creed kind of stood for in the 90s and in the 2000s. Of course, the event has changed everything. There it is, watching us all from its kingdom, hopefully feeling very bad about what it's done. No, I'm joking, but it's like Creed have fallen and fallen and fallen, and Viking Cologne, I just smelt it and I was like, seriously? You see, Creed Viking Cologne on its own isn't. It's a nice fragrance if, like, Calvin Klein had made it. If Calvin Klein had made Viking Cologne, and that was, you know, their latest release, I'd be like, whoa, check these guys out, this is great. But I wouldn't think to myself, oh, this isn't anything that they've done before. Or I wouldn't think this is, like, completely left field of Calvin Klein. I think, damn, this is a really solid Calvin Klein fragrance. If it was, yeah, a Calvin Klein fragrance, one of the Eternities or something, and it was like £19 in discounters and, I don't know, £49 retail, and you put it on and, you know, you get like 15 minutes or 20 minutes out of it and then it disappears, you'd be accepting of that. But Creed, with a straight face, saying, oh yeah, this is ours, I'd be ashamed if I was Creed and I released Viking Cologne. I'd be ashamed. I'd tuck my tail up between my legs and I'd run. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be humiliated for letting that, for greenlighting that. Again, if you like Viking Cologne, more power to you. Because again, to me, it's not the problem. The scent isn't necessarily the problem. But here's what Viking Cologne is. Lovely, like kind of like horseradishy kind of smell that you get from Tour de Hermes, with some citrus and that nice orange and the Viking Old Spice DNA that's in there. But it's synthetic. It's not very natural at all. None of the hallmarks of what Creed used to do. None of the, you know, real photorealistic, amazing stuff that they do with, like, Millesime. I mean, Millesime was just unbelievable, right? You put it on, you get real fresh sea salt. This isn't the Millesime Imperial review, by the way. I'm technically reviewing Millesime Imperial, but this isn't the Millesime Imperial review. Just calm down, right? So you get the sea salt, you get that lemon verbena, you get the orange, and everything's real, and everything's just like, just hitting off of each other. And it's like this dance of the senses. And you're just like, what the? How is fragrance like this? What is going on? This is insane. My nose is having a freaking orgasm over the natural smells, but the way that they're interlinked and that they're blended, it's like this theatrical play in your nose. It's freaking amazing what Creed do. Aventus, the original Aventus, it's like this smoke, and then the birch tar, and then there's freaking black currant out of nowhere, and there's oak moss, and it's just flying together seamlessly. It's like two skate dancers, but the notes of skate dancers are just freaking incredible. incredible. And but then you put Viking cologne on, and it's this kind of nice synthetic dirty orange. You know, a few nice little citruses, nowhere near as gleaming or as shiny as, you know, the previous fragrance. And it's just kind of put together, and it's not very real, and not very photorealistic. Blending is like serviceable, it's acceptable. But there's no peaks and valleys, there's no story, there's nothing, you know, it's fine. And then they say, yeah, that'll be $500, please. No. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't think I'll do that. It doesn't last. You know, it's a Calvin Klein fragrance, but for $500, $250, £300, I forbid you to buy it. I forbid you to buy at that evaluation. I don't even care if you're a multi-millionaire. Spend it on something better. I think Creed Viking's cologne is a joke. I think it's maybe not the nail in the coffin, but it's like, where do you go from here? It's just a sign of apathy. It's a sign of disinterest. And it's a sign of arrogance, which they always had. But now it's kind of arrogance to the point of being cocky. Like, we're Creed, will you buy this for 240, 50 quid? No. Added to that, when I smelt this, I thought, I know what that smells like. I've smelled that before. It smells like this. Baldassarini Ultimate. That's uncanny. In fact, right, this is true. I swear on my fucking life here, mate. Right. Because I put this on. And I put this on my right wrist, and I put this on my left wrist. I showed my girlfriend, I showed a couple of friends who came around that day. I said, which do you prefer? And they all said Baldassarini Ultimate, obviously. Number one, because they could actually smell it. That does help. But this is, I don't know, £18. Thicker, richer, spicier, sweeter. This is just powering off of the spritzer. There isn't really anything in it, to be fair. But even if this was full, it's just light and aerated. 100 milliliter, 300, 250, 300. I don't know. It changes every day. It goes up by £10 every day or whatever that Creed do. I don't know. £300, £19, and this is better. And I swear to you, this is what I'd like reviewers to do. This is, if you're somebody who can't stand me, and you're like, this fucking fragrance apprentice guy, he's so annoying. He just talks and talks and talks, and I don't get it, and it's just ridiculous. Fine. I want you, who doesn't like me, to buy a decant of this and buy Baldassarini Ultimate. But here's the rule. You've got to take your opinion of me out of the whole thing and just objectively tell me which one is better, which one is stronger, which one is better value for money, which one actually lasts longer, which one can you actually frickin' smell. And I promise you, it's not just me saying it, it's objective fact. Baldassarini Ultimate is stronger, more complex, more interesting. It's even blended better than Viking Cologne. That's a sin. That's a joke. So, yeah, Baldassarini Ultimate's great. If you like Viking Cologne, if you purchase Viking Cologne, oops-a-daisy. Check this one out, though, for next time. This isn't even a case of, this is a clone, because this one came out way before Viking Cologne. It's just objectively better. And it's sad. It's really freaking sad. Viking Cologne gets a 1 out of 5. It's nice, it's pleasant, but the price point and the sheer apathy that you can see in the fragrance is inexcusable. Inexcusable. And you shouldn't buy it. If you do like it, if you like the smell of it, and you're like, but I want to buy it. Hello? Check this out. And some of you will go, I just saved myself £280. $475. Great, I don't have to take out a mortgage to buy a fragrance. Anyway, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. What do I say at the end of these videos? Oh, that's right. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, etc. You know, I have the PayPal, which you can donate to. And hey, if you buy this, you'll actually have money to send me on PayPal. Because I will have literally saved you 90% or 95% of the money that you could have potentially spent on this joke of a scent. So that's info@thefragrancepress.co.uk. It's going to the 45-minute Aventus video and to outdoor videos and outdoor shoots and all of the more elaborate stuff that I do. Thank you so much. I'm the Fragrance Press. I'll see you again.